Okay, now in this video we're going to be showing you guys how to install the Nebra Hotspot miner, and this one was opened already, but this should actually all be sealed when you receive it. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to open up the box and we'll be able to see all the components in here. So we have our hotspot miner, we have our power supply and source, and we also have our hotspot antenna. So let's go ahead and we'll take out these components here. And this one's a little bit trickier on the power supply because it actually supports many different outlets. So let's go ahead and we'll take out the power supply box here. We'll see some other labels and stickers. We'll take out the Nebra Hotspot miner. Okay. And so that's what we have here. We'll move that aside as well. And we also have our antenna. Very similar to the rack antenna that we just saw in the last video. All right, we're going to close up that box and put it aside. And so the first thing I want to go ahead and do is just show you guys a hotspot. So this is what it looks like. As opposed to the rack miner, it has all the components in the back here. We have our power supply, we have our antenna external connector, we have our indication lights, Bluetooth button, as well as the Ethernet. Okay, so those are all the connectors there. And so what I'll do here is I'm going to go ahead and open up the power supply box, and that's how we're going to go ahead and be able to plug in and get power to our hotspot. Now, I do want to go ahead and mention, like I said, it's a little bit more tricky, but it's should be easy to show you guys here. So there's going to be a bunch of other types of connectors in this box, and we'll see a bunch of little black connectors here. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you find, the American connector or whatever connector that you're using. But in this case, I do have a US 915, so I'm going to be finding this connector for a standard US outlet. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to attach that piece here directly onto the power supply. So you'll see two little indents there that you want to line up right over those pins, and you're gonna feel it kind of click in place here. You'll see that, and then you're gonna push down and you're gonna rotate to the right. You'll hear a click. There it is. And so now that's locked in place, okay? And you can release that. There's a release button right here, so that if you want to take it back out, you'll turn it counterclockwise and you'll be able to pull it right back off. So pretty easy mechanism, okay? And now we have our power supply here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the power. Okay, there's my outlet, and I'll plug in the power right here, okay? And there we go right away. We'll see an indicator light that our hotspot is getting power. Now the next thing, very similarly to the rack miner, we have our external power antenna. And so we wanna place that on there just gently, and we're gonna rotate from the base clockwise. We'll feel that being able to screw on. And again, don't do it too tight, just until you feel it's snug, and then you're gonna be able to rotate the antenna in any direction that you need to, okay? So again, don't over tighten it, because that mechanism in there right now is holding that external connector. We don't want that to break. So just be gentle with it and everything will be fine. Now the last part is we want to go ahead and get Ethernet or internet to our hotspot. And so we have an Ethernet cable here plugged into our router. So this is an Ethernet cable plugged in directly to my internet router that I'm going to be able now to go ahead and supply an internet connection to my hotspot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see the indication lights right away turn on, and we'll start receiving internet connection so that the hotspot can start updating and syncing and then be able to start mining. Now again, I did mention in previous videos that in this training we're going to have a video that will show you how to switch your miner to not use Ethernet, rather to find and use your existing Wi-Fi connection. So you don't have to necessarily use this. We do recommend using an Ethernet. It's a more stable connection. However, if you can't run these cables to where you're going to be placing your hotspot, for you don't have the right way to install it, then you can use Wi-Fi. Again, for your power connector, you can always use an extension cord. There's no problem with that if you need to place the miner in an area that is farther away from an outlet. But that's how you go ahead and unbox, plug in, and install your Nebra Hotspot miner.